Have a really good think, because somebody you know could earn you a lot of money for very little effort. Think, who do you know that wants to buy a property in Spain? A colleague, a mate, someone in your family, a friend of a friend? If you know someone, go to welcome-estates.com and click the Refer a Friend link. If they buy, you'll pocket a nice chunky thank you from one of Spain's leading estate agents. T's and C's apply. All details at welcome-estates.com.
Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here with Porky's Corner. Biggest gob in sport. Today we're joined by Kent in his football top. What top is it, Kent?
It's the Northern Ireland national team's football top, Russell.
Yeah, good man.
Yep.
Dedicated countryman, aren't you, Kent?
Well, I'll try my best, Russell. Try my best.
Right. What's been going on, Kent, in the sport of boxing? Enlighten me.
Where do you want to start, Russell? Where do you want to start? Lead the way.
Well, that show over your neck at Woods last night, mate.
In Dublin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Massive homecoming for Katie Taylor. I don't know if it was a massive homecoming for Katie Taylor or it was a Conor McGregor spoiling the party. I think there was more footage and hype and more exposure this week for Conor McGregor than any other fighter. I was just a wee bit sick of it, to be honest. You know, it seemed to be the Conor McGregor show the last week, going for pints of Guinness with Eddie Hearn, conversations about coming out and fighting anyone and boxing and all this. I just thought where it was a massive occasion where you have Ireland's biggest, possibly most successful sports person ever in Katie Taylor, and it seems to be all about Conor McGregor all week. It was really disappointing. I think we could have put a wee bit more emphasis into what Katie Taylor's actually achieved in Ireland and for female sport and sport in general. And most of the hype was all around Conor McGregor, the top machine from the UFC.
Yeah, but Eddie's piggybacking on Conor McGregor now because he needs an ally, doesn't he? Because he's upset everybody, hasn't he?
Well, you go back to our video 2 years ago, the Frozen Out video we did on Eddie Hearn, but we spoke about, Top Rank. We spoke about PBC, the big dogs of Arum and Al Haymon in America. So I think, he got everything wrong from the start, and he basically said, yeah, DAZN's going to destroy the American pay-per-view market. It was overpriced. Well, he's not saying that now where he's got his own pay-per-view platform in America. But yeah, the show, it was a good show. It was a great show. It was a massive event over there. It was the homecoming, and it couldn't have went more wrong for Matchroom on the night. It was watching the fight. We know that Katie Taylor has been taking more and more punishment over the last couple of years. We had that. I thought she lost the Pursoon fight, the first fight. She won the rematch. You had that really tight fight with Natasha Jonas. That was maybe a round in it. And then you had the Serrano fight, which was a war in itself. And they brought her up a weight division against an undisputed champion who had much more physical advantages. It just didn't seem to be very smart matchmaking from Eddie. I think the safer bet would have been possibly to bring in Terry Harper. That would have been an easier fight. Terry doesn't punch as hard as Cameron, and I think it would have been an easier night for Katie Taylor.
Yeah, what did you think at judging, Kent?
We actually disagreed on it. We disagreed on the Metcalf and Hogan fight. I thought Metcalf won the fight by a couple of rounds. I thought he pressed it a bit more. But the judging on the Taylor fight, I when I seen it the first the first scorecard was announced as a draw. Here's me that this is going to be a hometown decision, and there was only, what was it, one round in it with the other two judges.
Yeah.
I personally had
One
Cameron.
judge had it a draw, and other two
Yep.
judges had it by 2 points, didn't they?
I had Cameron winning by 3 points, by
Yeah,
3 rounds.
I did. Well, listen, mate, at the end of the day, right, she got beat against that bassoon, didn't she?
I thought she lost the pursuit fight, the first pursuit fight. I thought she lost that. I thought that was a robbery. The Natasha Jonas fight could have went either way. It was a really close fight, and the Serrano fight was really close as well. But I actually think she won the Serrano fight, but it just didn't seem to be very smart matchmaking. It didn't seem to be any thought going into it. You know, Katie Taylor, even at her own weight, isn't the biggest at her own weight, but they brought her up to fight Chantel Cameron, who is absolutely massive at her weight. You know, we've seen her at the presser, and even Terry commented.
It's around 12.5 stone, you know.
Yeah, Terry commented. He says, like, I don't know how she's going to get fit. You know, how is she going to get fit? That was 8 weeks ago. He said that she just looks so big at the weight, and she basically looked like a fighter who was 2 weight divisions higher than Taylor last night. She her style's really good. It's adopted. Her style has adopted since, you know, obviously she was with Shane McGuigan. She had a more upright fencing style. Now with Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis, she's more offensive. You know, it's not very much you see a British
She don't
fighter.
waste the punches, does she?
No, she's very economical. What I was really impressed with her was, you know, she's a Mexican nickname, but she actually has a Mexican style. You know, she has that lead hand hook to the body, to the head. She boxes really well in combinations. She's a good volume puncher. She punches with really, really good authority. I thought it was a great performance from Cameron last night.
Yeah. You wouldn't like a whack off, would you? It'd be a nightmare first date for you, wouldn't you, Ken?
She'd punch you all around the place, Russell. She's a really good fighter, really, really heavy-handed.
Could never take a bird like that on a date, man. No way.
She'd just punch you upside down, Russell.
Right, Kent. We've got to mention it, Kent. Terry Harper and Brackhouse.
I've never ever seen a fighter weigh in and look so fit, look so motivated, and less than
the
12.
fighter gets paid anyway now, don't they?
Yeah. Well, if you weigh in, it's in the handbook. Should be in the contract.
They're putting on a show next week or something. Maybe she might not. So it all looks a bit, I don't know. Are people frightened to take turns on me? Because if that were my fighter, I'd be saying, well, I won't pay in. You mind putting me on a show next week and get me a bit of money? I won't pay in. All right?
Well, it's in the it should be in the British Boxing Board of Control contract that when a fighter weighs in, they get paid.
Yeah.
That's been an age-old contract that, you know, it's.
Yeah, but we know that they turn around and say, look, let's have a deal. We'll get you out next week. We'll make it up to you down the line. Nobody wants to rock the boat. So who cares if they've been paid or not? I think it's bad for Terry Harper and them fans from around here who went. Do you know what I mean? How bad's that?
It's awful. I think that the saving grace about it was that apparently Terry only got 20 tickets. Hearn wanted it to be more Irish fans. Everything went out to the Irish fighters. So I think Terry only had like 20 tickets for the show, which if that's true, it's a bit better than having 400 and 500 fans traveling over to England, to Ireland.
Well, you don't do tickets over here now, do they? So they're not going to do them in another country, are they? But I know people that went over, but we're not talking hundreds here. We're talking a few carloads. That's it. We're talking like it's in buses and all this, and They were flying in from all around the world. No, load of bollocks. Just a few went.
Well, I had a friend of mine, a couple of friends of mine that travel all over the UK. They went to Savannah's last fight. They actually get their tickets off Savannah's sister. They're well in the know with everyone, and they contacted Terry and they wanted tickets. And the response was back that we don't have any. We've only got 20 tickets for friends and family. So all this rhetoric about lots of people, and yeah, it's disappointing for the fans, the 20 odd fans that went over, but I don't think it was the hundreds that they're making out that went over.
No, but she needs paying because she's done a camp and it's not right for her, is it? Let's be
It's
right.
not.
Needs to be
It's not right.
reimbursed.
It's not right for her, and it's not right for a coach. It's not right for a manager. Everybody
What
needs
about
to
all
get paid.
sparring they paid out for?
Yeah, everybody needs paying. The manager who negotiated the deal, the trainer that put the time and the work and training, the sparring partners that they brought in, they're all expenses.
Let's
Plus
hope they get sorted, Kent, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Anyway, moving on, Kent. Have you ever noticed a fighter and you've spotted something early in their career and it's something they've said after a fight or something and you thought, you know what? I'm going to get behind that person. Have you ever heard a fighter say that it's something early in his career and you thought, I want to back him?
Yeah, there's lots of stories. There's lots of fighters out there you want to see do well. Not lots of fighters have this glamorous lifestyle of being able to train as a full-time boxer. Training 3 times a day, micro sessions, recovery, sponsorship behind them, fighting top of the bill in Sky. Not every fighter has that privilege. Probably my favorite fighter at the minute would be McCauley.
No, Kent, I think you missed the question. Right. I said, have you ever heard a fighter come out, something in past and you've followed them and they've
Yeah.
done well in their career? That's what I meant, Kent.
Yeah, I remember.
Did you ever hear Frampton say something earlier to in his career and you thought, yeah, he gets it in?
Yeah, absolutely. It just goes to show it's being in touch with yourself, being normal, not being glamorized, not being manipulated by the networks. Just being yourself. Someone who's organic or not, or someone who's just being fake. But I suppose growing up, in that community and around Belfast and knowing Carl a long time, he was always himself, and he proved that when he left Eddie Hearn. He was the first fighter to leave Eddie at the time when Eddie had just got that big massive Sky deal and everybody get kicked out of their promotional contracts.
Yeah. David Hayes involved with training. I forgot name now. My memory's shot to bits. Eubank. What do you think of that? What do you think of that for a team up, eh?
That's another. He latched off Del Boy.
2 online gamblers going for it. Oh my God, whoring themselves out to KSI's mob.
He latched himself on to Derek Chisora for a few years, and Don Charles got the boot. When has he ever trained anyone to? I didn't think David Hay had a training license, but it's just bizarre. That doesn't surprise me. And when you look at Chris Eubank's career, and you look at the decision makings he's been making this last few years, you expect that type of thing. You expect that type of decision and to bring someone in what's a heavyweight? David Hay is a heavyweight, cruiserweight, going to bring into Chris Eubank's camp. That's going to beat Liam Smith. It just sounds so bad. Like many trainers now has Chris Eubank Jr. actually went through. I think at this stage now he's went through more trainers than Foot Locker.
Yeah. Right, let me just get this in or I'll get told off. Don't forget to share these videos on your WhatsApp. All right, I don't usually push out like that, but I'm going all corporate now. So thank you for sharing them, those that have. All right. Right, now we've got that out of the way. Moving on. Kent, is Bricktop slipping off his perch?
Well, there's a whole thing that's happening. BT will not be known as BT Sport. I think there's another company that's taken over BT Sport. So I'm not sure when all that changes. So there must be, they're not putting on the same amount of shows. They're not putting the last big show they had was Beterbiev in Yard, and when you put shows on like that, you generate momentum. You build up, some momentum with your stable, getting your fighters out, and they haven't been doing that. The whole Tyson Fury deal as well, and I've been saying it for 2 years, is bizarre. How much money is Top Rank Bob Arum and Frank Warren going to put into Tyson Fury and get nothing back? All that aside of what you said there, it's just bizarre. There doesn't seem to be any momentum. Now they've got
it's all pointing towards Fury going on his own, and him and his dad, them having their own promotional company and having all cake for themselves. And why not?
Probably is, but when you set up a promotional outfit like that, you have to pay more people. There's more expenditure, there's more expense. It's a lot more responsibility than training for a fight, turning up, getting your cut on the upside.
They'll be queuing up to offer the services to him. Queuing up.
I just don't think it's. I think Tyson Fury is hard enough to do business with a promoter and a manager. Never mind Tyson Fury actually promoting himself and negotiating his own deals. I think that's a recipe for disaster, to be honest with you. I don't think any of them are good business people, and I think it would be an absolute mess.
Yeah. When Conor Benn and Kell Brook did that stage thing, right? You seen it, didn't you?
Oh, it was embarrassing.
How bad was that on a Match Unboxing YouTube channel? It was all staged to death. We all know that, but I thought he was suffering from depression, Crusher.
Yeah.
Crying and that.
Yeah, well, he's been crying
for
months.
Now? You're right.
He's been crying for months about having mental health problems, about being really low, about being depressed and sad because he failed 2 drug tests. He didn't seem to have mental health problems last night. It's a real miraculous recovery from Crusher Ben's mental health problems, and now everything's just like a flick of a switch. He doesn't seem to have mental health problems. There's people out there with severe addiction problems. They're living in poverty. They're trying to feed families of no income. That's mental health problems, not some millionaire that failed 2 steroid tests and is running around crying because he get caught. I think he's an embarrassment. I think every time he speaks, was he not? He's crying last week in Radio Raheen, and I'm sorry this, and I'm low and all, and my dad's not. Just it's utter crap. So it is. I think Eddie just. How can Eddie stand behind this guy? I think it's just get him cashed out and flog him on his way, because I think British boxing is sick of him, and no matter what he does, he doesn't do himself any favors. I think he's probably got whoever's looking after him and whoever's managing him is doing an absolutely terrible job with him. Terrible job.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
If somebody walked past me and nudged me like that, you would be right round at them. And then there was a pause, and he looked over, and then all of a sudden there was 5 security around Conor Benn.
Could you imagine conversation, Ken? Yeah, what we're gonna do, Kel, we're gonna do some intense beef on Match Unboxing YouTube, and you're just gonna play along with it. Can you imagine, Kel? Okay, Eddie. Okay, Conor. Can you imagine it? All of them, brain donors, 2 brain cells between them. Did you see it? It looked so staged, and then I'm hearing it is staged, and I thought, oh my God. Embarrassing. Oh,
Yeah, it was. And I tell you what, I've actually noticed a change in how Conor Ben's looking. He's changed a lot. His physical appearance has changed a lot this last 6 months, Russell, hasn't it? Do you not think he's lost a bit of weight?
his
He looks like
jaw's
his
more rounded.
yeah, yeah. He's kind of come back to the way he looked when he was getting punched all around the place by Pernard. Why would that be?
Yeah. I don't know, mate. What do you think?
I just think he's a waste of time. I think no matter what they try and do with him, whether it's going on
What you
Raheem
mean his
crying,
jaw? You mean his jaw? Why is it not square anymore? Why is it rounded?
yeah, yeah,
Probably eating more, isn't he?
yeah. He's probably eating those eggs that the WBC said he was eating too much of. But no matter what they do with him, it's always a disaster. I just think it makes fans want to turn off even more. I think even casuals aren't that stupid that they believe all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's madness, isn't it? Madness. Wilder and Joshua, Carl Froch came out and said Wilder does him in a round. And then Malcolm X, Spencer Fearon's come out on IFL and he's slagged Carl Froch saying he's jealous, bitter and blah blah blah, and because he broke his record at Wembley and all this. And what do you make of all that? Do you think Froch is talking sense or?
I think he's a right. It's YouTube and it's boxing now, and when you go against the establishment, everyone's a problem with it. If Carl Froch was talking about some fighter ranked less than AJ or made less than AJ, nobody would be talking about it. But he's a right to his opinion, and if you agree with it or not, he's still got a right to his opinion. I personally disagree with it. I think Wilder will do him in 3 rounds rather than one. But Clark Froch has made millions of pounds. He's got a lot of investments outside of boxing. Why would he? He's got a family. He came out of boxing on top. He was, unified champion. He's fought a lot of world class fighters. He traveled all over the world, fighting people in their backyards. He's got his own legacy. So what has he got? What has he got to be bitter about? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and his birds are 10 out of 10, and he lived happily ever after with his family.
Doesn't the very fact that we know what Froch is like. Froch sometimes has his own opinion, and he could be probably a bit of hard work sometimes.
Yeah,
But and we know that, and the very fact that Spencer and all these guys are coming out and criticizing him, it just seems to me that
Big Malcolm X.
Yeah,
oh my!
it just seems to me that he's actually winding them up, and they're that stupid and that gullible. They seem to take the bait every single time. It's like no matter what Froch says, sometimes everybody has always got something to say about it. If they were actually smart, they would actually turn around and say nothing about it, and it would probably backfire on Froch. But the fact is that they seem to take the bait every single time and react to everything he says. He's getting inside their heads rent free. If you ask me, I think they're just being stupid, to be honest.
What about Spencer Fearon, Big Malk, coming out on IFL saying that Daniel Dubois' dad's got 11 kids to 2 different women, and he's like the Joe Jackson of boxing. What were all that about?
Flipping heck, that's just
Big Malk. You can't help you. Big Malk's not even got his foot in door yet with the bar, and he's already getting it slammed in his face. What's he coming out with that?
I hope it's not true, because if that's the case, the CSA will be
in his spare time, Dubois.
If that's the case, there'll be rops in the door, and the CSA will be looking back payment on unpaid child benefit. I hope that's not the case, like of Dubois' dad. He'd be in for a fortune.
We're going to have a rugby team soon of boxers in the bar.
Yeah,
be more than Furies.
Daniel Dubois' next purse will be going on child child allowance.
What do you think
So,
about Jabbar then moving forward? How good do you think he is?
I don't rate him. I've been saying that for 2 years. I don't
Big
see
stiff, he can. He's a big stiff.
Martin Bowers got a lot of flack and a lot of stick on Justified, in my opinion, about the loss against Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
So everybody got on. He got a lot of stick about that loss of Dubois. So he jumps in. He went to Mark Tibbs for a day.
Just
It
stay
didn't
where we
last.
were and just take it on chin, don't you?
Yeah, he went to Mark Tibbs for a day. It didn't work out. Then they ended out going to Shane McGuigan, and look how that's went. He hasn't beat anyone at a level that you could turn around and say, yeah, I see improvement in Daniel Dubois. He hasn't
I think
fought.
he's gone downhill since he left Martin Bowers. I thought he was just starting to look a bit flexible until he got stopped against Joyce.
So do I.
Since then, he's gone back into big stiff mode since he's left Bowers.
So do I. I think, McGuigan likes his fighters to punch through the target in punching combinations, but surely every trainer should be teaching their fighters to punch through the target and punching combinations. I personally didn't see any improvement under Shane McGuigan at all. He didn't fight anyone good enough to see the improvement. And this last fight against Kevin Lorena, now the very fact now that they're talking about, there's going to be the Usyk purse bids, but were they not running about saying that he tore and ruptured an ACL? Now, if he had ruptured an ACL, he wouldn't be able to be training in a training camp right now to go into a fight with Usyk a couple of months down the line. So I'm not saying it's lies, but it's very, very unlikely. And the last time, he had that, they said he had a fractured retina or orbital socket. Well, he was back in training and sparring really quickly after that. He's back quickly and really fast after this MCL ACL rupture against Lorena. So I don't really know what to believe anymore. I just think, to be honest, he's not good enough.
Yeah.
He's just not good enough.
Yeah, listen, if they get the Usyk fight, get him in there because he's got a puncher's chance, but that's all he's got, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think Usyk wins every round against him.
Usyk takes that right hand off him and he'll just start playing with him, won't he, Ken? He'll be like a cat with a ball of wool.
Yeah, he'll those side steps and all that pendulum stance of Usyk. I think he just boxes him inside out. I don't think Dubois wins a round against Usyk at all. Yeah. At all.
What about Ebony Bridges, Kent? What's your take on her lately?
I don't take anything on her. I don't really follow her. I wonder if she'll be supporting Leeds next season if they get relegated. I have no time. I'm bored of her. There was all that hype around her to start and all these bikini pictures at weigh-ins. I'm just sick of it now. I'm bored of it. I want to watch real boxers and real boxing people.
How you like women in bikinis, Ken?
Just I'm sick of the whole pantomime act around her. I'm just sick of it, to be honest with you, Russell.
Yeah, you're bare shorts, man. You, Kent, aren't you? None of that bikini carry on, is it, for you?
I think Nina Hughes beats her convincingly. I think Nina Hughes boxes her head off, to be honest with you. There's Shannon Courtney pulled out of a fight against her last week there, and I think Nina Hughes boxes ahead of her, to be honest with you. Yeah. Well, you look at how easy Nina Hughes did away in Dubois again, away in Dubai against Jamie Mitchell. Like, she absolutely boxed ahead of her. She won she won basically every round against Mitchell, and look how much Mitchell dominated Shannon Courtney. So yeah, I think Nina Hughes is on a level above any of them girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, levels. It wasn't it was the whole thing where Nina Hughes started boxing really late. She had a couple of children. It's actually at one stage she was being considered for Nicola Adams's place in the Olympics. So that's the standard of Nina Hughes. She's a real top class fighter. She's brilliant, and hope she gets a couple of defenses and makes some good money.
Yeah, what do you think to Loma and Haney?
I was talking to my mate today and work about it, and what I haven't seen the fight, so I can't say it was a robbery or not. I have to have my own opinion on it, but it tells me two things. So you've got Vasily Lomachenko, a European speaking fighter, not really great English speaking. You've got Devin Haney, the American, undisputed champion. They want to make him a draw in America. He's undisputed. He's an American fighter. Lomachenko can come again, but the Haney deal with Bob Arum, that was actually the last fight on that deal. So you're going to have the likes of DAZN and other promotional outfits coming in to offer him a deal. So it makes sense. I'm not saying, there was anything untoward with the judges, but kind of makes sense for Top Rank to have Haney with the belts. And it means that they can probably keep him in camp now at Top Rank as undisputed. And they can do they just need him to sign that contract, and they can do the Lomachenko rematch.
Yeah. What do you think to the Gads Blue Cigar?
Just sick of all that, to be honest with you. Just sick of all that vaping and all this. I'm bored of it, Russell. I just want to see boxing people talking about boxing and not gimmicks, not making it all about themselves, to be honest with you. I'm bored of it all. I want to see good fights. I want to see boxing people talking about boxing, and I want to see good fights. I'm sick of all this crap on DAZN, all these gimmick misfit fights and all this nonsense around it. I just want to see proper fights, and I want to listen to proper boxing people.
Do you think heavyweight division's parked up, Kent?
It's parked up to the point where you haven't even got top ranked fighters from 20 and 30 fighting now. It's right the whole way down. Everyone is sitting waiting for a Saudi call. Everyone is sitting waiting for a big fight. It's worse now. All this Saudi talk is actually hurting the heavyweight division even more. Everybody's just sitting waiting for a cash out. It's awful. It's absolutely abysmal. We need good fights. We need good fighters fighting each other. And I think the heavyweight division 3 years ago, when we were told that, yeah, it's made. Thank you. Yes, well done. It's all been made. It's getting announced next week, tomorrow, yesterday. And it never happened. I think the heavyweight division has been in stalemate the whole way through that. And I think we're just, I think it's just been a continuous stalemate since that. And it's going to be like that probably for another 6 to 12 months.
Fucking hell. Not good, that is.
Honestly. Then you've got Fury. I don't think Fury wants the Saudi contract. I don't think Fury wants the Saudi tournament. I think Fury's just sitting back, waiting for Zhang in China. That would be a massive, massive pay-per-view card. I think that's what they're waiting for. Last week we had, Joe Joyce has activated his rematch clause, dead on, great. But what generates more money? Does Tyson Fury in China generate more money than Joe Joyce in China?
Fury's in China would be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
Joe Joyce in the UK doesn't make commercial sense. I think he's sitting back now and waiting for Zhang.
It'd be a nightmare for Bricktop if Fury's did a deal with Chinese, wouldn't it?
The thing about it is, it was a smart move from Frank Warren, because that couldn't happen because Frank Warren has options on Zhang. He's 3-fight option on him. So that means that Fury just can't walk out on Bob Arum and Frank Warren, which he can because he's not under contract with Emmons now.
Well, he'd have
But
to
it
deal
was-
with them if he fought Zhang, wouldn't
Yeah, yeah, he would
As a
have to be dealing with
co-promoter.
them.
he? As a co-promoter.
Yeah. So it was smart from Frank Warren and getting Zhang on options. Plus, it keeps Zhang away from DAZN. So there's another fighter not going to be on DAZN.
Right. We'll just do a part 1 today, Ken, because I've got to go to Manchester in a minute. And then I'm down south tomorrow filming, so I'm knackered. But we've covered a lot.
Yeah,
Covered a lot.
you've been doing a lot. You're down St. Joe, Peter Fury last week. Few
Yeah.
videos have been brilliant. That was really, really good.
Some more to
Excellent.
come out. Some more to come out. Tech guys slow as a snail, but there's some good interviews to come out. Charlie Edwards, Yui. Yeah, all good stuff. It's all good stuff. Dennis is another one of Dennis in his suite at Radisson Blue in Manchester. That's a good one.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of good content out. It's just
Yeah,
just want to get it out as quick as possible. That's the thing. We try and get it out and be as fresh as possible. But
yeah, I don't want to
the stuff-
flood it though. If you flood it, they whine, yeah, you print too many out.
yeah, it's like if you put too much videos out, every video gets less views. But if you put too little out, people have already known what you're going to talk about. So it's hard to get the timing right for the videos. But the content's been brilliant. It's been really, really, really good. Richard's video was excellent last week.
It's a good
Really,
man.
Richard's stuff is brilliant. He's really, really, really clued in. He comes with it as a businessman. He thinks of everything. You could see him thinking as a businessman with a businessman's head on, as well as a
He's
boxing
not
fan.
stupid, is he? Because for about 8 months a year, he's parked up on south of France in a villa, so he's living it large, isn't he? Even though he's
he's brilliant. He's really, really good, and Julian's stuff is really good as well. And the channel's doing really well, Russell. Well done.
It does help Richard though that he's got James Bond bird on arm, doesn't it?
Yeah, Bond girl, as I call her.
Come on, Ken. Is that your first crush, Ken? Richard's bird.
Yeah, it's good to see them away and relaxing. That they work hard. They work hard for it.
All right then, Ken. Well, listen, you take care, pal. And I'll see you soon.
All right, Russell. All the best.
Right.
Take care.
Right, thank you for liking, subscribing and sharing the video and pressing the notification button. Also, we know it's troubled times, don't we? If you want to be a promoter for Welcome Estates, all you got to do is share a few links. Register with your Uncle Porky. Got to be in it to win it. Just think if people view a property in Spain, you get 50 quid whether they buy or not. And if they buy, you get your commission as well, eh? It's free dough, innit? It's just like you sharing a funny viral video, innit? But this time, you're in it to win it. Lottery ticket's £2.50, innit? This is free. Oh, peace out.
Porky's Corner is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Site Solutions. They are specialists in civil engineering and demolition contracts for the construction industry. Interested parties should visit their website or contact Porky's Corner for a referral at porkycorner@mail.com.